welcome Your Excellency, the President of this great nation, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Welcome Your Excellency. Karibu sana Rais, karibu.
wa gwaride hivi sasa kija kumwomba kwa heshima Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Amiri Jeshi Mkuu majeshi yote ya ulinzi ya Kenya idhini ya kuweza kagua gwaride la heshima ya ulinzi ya Kenya. Cha saba. Kupewa heshima hadi ya juu, unavyoshuhudia Mheshimiwa Rais akipeana heshima yake kwa bendera ya kikosi.
Moja, mbili, tatu. Ndio huyo. Kanjo wewe, kanjo. Jaza. Nui wewe mama mboga. Changamuke bwana. Wewe kanjo. Chunga wewe. Mboga pesa nguvu bwana. Nui sasa nguvu ya bwana. Solola hapa imeenda na mama mboga. Wapi makofi ya mama mboga?
ikiongozwa na B Company ya kikosi cha kwanza cha jeshi letu la nchi kavu chini yake Major Justus Kaburu Atukon. Kikundi cha kwanza kiko chini yake Luteni Hassan Said wakiwa kwenye magwanda yao mazito ya kivita. Festus Mwia. Wakiwa kwenye mavazi ya rasmi ya kikazi chini yake Inspector Isaac CTNA. Chini yake Superintendent Agnes Magiri akisaidiana na Chief Inspector Wycliffe Musyoka. Vikundi vya askari wa utawala chini yake Superintendent Gladys Kosgei akisaidiana na Chief Inspector Anthony Lokomani. Kikundi cha kwanza kitengo cha wanaume wakiwa kwenye mavazi ya rasmi ya sherehe kiko chini yake Inspector Zakari Masharia. Mheshimiwa Rais, inafuata hivi sasa kikosi cha Kenya Coast Guard chini yake Luteni Lawrence Mwenda. Mheshimiwa Rais, inafuata hivi sasa vikundi vya polisi ama askari wetu wa magereza wakiwa chini yake Superintendent Jeremia Kemboi akisaidiana na Chief Inspector Josephat Mwirigi. Inafuata hivi sasa kikosi kinachochunga misitu yetu chini yake Superintendent Philip Mnyema akisaidiana na Chief Inspector George Kimani. Kikundi cha pili, Mheshimiwa Rais, ni ndege aina ya F5, ndege zilizo na uwezo wa kuruka kwa kasi kabisa, kupambana na ndege za adui angani na vilevile kusaidiana na jeshi letu la nchi kavu. Zinarudi tena ndege tatu aina ya Tukano zikipaa kwa taratibu kabisa na kuachana kushoto kulia. Jambo la kufurahisha Mheshimiwa Rais ni kwamba ndege hii iko chini yake rubani wetu mwanadada ambaye ni Major Alice Orina. Tumpe makofi.
Today, as we gather in the spirit of unity, I stand before you to express profound gratitude on behalf of the people of Embu County for your esteemed government that has been extremely valuable in supporting a lot of development projects in this county. Sir, through the Ministry of Medical Services, we've been able to do renovation of our maternity, post and antenatal ward, pediatric unit, and our newborn unit at the Embu Level 5 Hospital, an initiative that you inaugurated only last week. We appreciate the work that you've done for us, sir. On the area of infrastructure, Your Excellency, we've been able to get the magnificent stadium that we are in today that has been built in a record 15 weeks, Your Excellency. We are excited and happy about this opportunity, and we look forward to the new Jokere International Stadium that I know is in the pipeline, Your Excellency. Further, Your Excellency, we are grateful for the new Embu Modern Market, which you also launched last Friday, that is scheduled to host over 3,000 stalls, cold rooms, and daycare for the mothers who have young children and need to earn a living. Through the Cabinet Secretary for ICT and Digital Economy, yesterday we launched 2 digital laboratories in Ronyete's Technical Institute and Vocational College and Jeremiah Nyaga Technical Institute under the Jitume program. Under that program, Your Excellency, many young people from the county are going to get the exposure of online jobs that we so badly need as a county. Your Excellency, on behalf of the people of Embu, I wish to request you to consider our topmost technical institute, the Jeremiah Nyaga Technical Institute, which is one of the best technical institutes in the country, that you consider it for upgrade to a full national polytechnic. On devolution,
your presence here is a reminder of that struggle. Destiny has placed you in a unique position to lead the final and the third liberation of this country the economic liberation of our people. Your Excellency, we want to encourage you. The measures that you have come up with to get back the economy of this country on track through prudent and pragmatic interventions is what will bring about the third liberation. Your Excellency, we want to encourage you that millions of Kenyans desirous of economic prosperity are fully behind you. We want to encourage you that many Kenyans, though quiet, have confidence that the measures you have come up with will improve the welfare of the Kenyan people. We want to urge all Kenyans to allow our President an opportunity to steer this country back to economic prosperity. Your Excellency, we want to urge our leaders to continue being steadfast as they support all the legislative measures that your government has proposed in the National Assembly to allow this country to get away from public debt and fund our own development and recurrent expenditure. For that, Your Excellency, we want to assure you that the majority of Kenyans are behind you. 60 years ago, Kenya attained internal self-rule after a long struggle led by our gallant men and women. Our great nation has been on a prosperity trajectory despite challenges. Our future is promising, and for this, Your Excellency, we honor our freedom heroes and heroes. On this day, we honor Kenyans whose hard work continues to drive our nation towards a life of dignity. Our resolve to attain this dignity is unwavering. We celebrate this day, Your Excellency, under the theme, Empowering Sustainable National Development through Cooperatives and Micro and Small Businesses. It also happens when public reforms, especially in the coffee, tea, and dairy subsectors, are on top here. Structural reforms aim at restoring the dignity of our farmers in line with the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. It is this regard, Your Excellency, that we have convened a special summit of all coffee stakeholders in the neighboring county of Embu next week to come up with practical interventions to put money into the pockets of our farmers.
I know that the people of Kenya are very generous people and very happy people. Kenya is a very important country for many reasons. It is very important for the African Union. And it happens that Kenya is it's a good British country.
Coïncide avec le 60e anniversaire de la création de l'Organisation militaire africaine.
The African Union Kenya plays a very critical role.
Je sais à quel point, Monsieur le Président,
I know, Your Excellency,
vous êtes attaché
you are very,
à la l'unité du continent.
you are very committed to the continent.
Aujourd'hui, au nom du peuple et du gouvernement comorien,
Today, I speak to you on behalf of the people of Comoros,
mais aussi au nom de l'ensemble du continent,
but also on my own behalf,
pour vous souhaiter une très belle fête de Madaraka
to wish you an excellent Madaraka Day.
et vous exprimer nos sincères félicitations
And you can be sure,
pour le progrès immense
for this great moment,
que le Kenya a accompli depuis son accession
that
à l'indépendance.
Kenya has made tremendous steps since her independence.
Je saisis cette occasion
I take this opportunity
pour rendre hommage à nos illustres pères de l'indépendance de l'Afrique.
to pay homage to the fathers of independence of Africa.
We have also employed 35,000 teachers in a historic and unprecedented drive to improve the national teacher-pupil ratio and enhance performance. Additionally, we are redesigning the competence-based education curriculum to make it responsive to our education needs at the point of our social, cultural, and economic development. Finally, the National Open University will obtain its charter in the course of this month, and as we speak, courses are being uploaded for commissioning, and later this year, Kenyans will have the opportunity to go to university from the comfort of their homes online. For long, tertiary education in Kenya has been a privilege for the most fortunate, while university education was the exclusive entitlement of the elite. Not anymore. A month ago, I unveiled a new funding model for higher education that will make the universities and technical training fully inclusive, financially robust, and capable of competing with their peers globally while contributing to our national socio-economic transformation through innovation, research, and development. The model is aimed at financially supporting increasing numbers of students enrolling in these institutions and ensuring that those from households at the bottom of the socio-economic structure enjoy equal education opportunities. Our public discourse and political discussion and the agenda of social debate has changed for good. Substantive policy issues continue to define the national conversation well beyond the election. At the moment, there is a robust debate on the finance bill taking place everywhere in this country, in churches, social places, formal and informal workplaces, all media platforms, and busy markets, as well as in urban and rural gatherings. We are truly a trailblazing nation. Many countries struggle in vain to generate a national debate on public financing, taxation, or other policy issues. In Kenya, we have easily sustained intense discourse on the finance bill and the affordable housing policy for weeks now. The debate has remained issue-oriented, and there is no hint of divisive ethnic rhetoric at all. The cost of living is keeping all leaders, including myself, awake, and this is precisely as it should be. Superficially, the intense national debate on housing is not about whether it is a tax or a contribution. The attention sharply focused on the housing contributions is an implicit expression of ownership. People desire better information and stronger assurance regarding the custody, security, investment, and return on their money. That is phenomenal. People are interested. How will their money be? Will it be safe? Will it be stolen? How is it going to benefit them? And how are they going to get a fair return for their contribution? I want to assure the people of Kenya that those questions will be answered. More encouragingly, the discourse on public finances and housing fund has opened our eyes to our emergence as a stakeholder republic. Kenyans today, more than ever, are fully involved citizens in shaping public policies and making institutions accountable in the manner in which they run national affairs. In the course of consultations with Kenyans at the grassroots throughout the country, we identified a number of barriers to effective realization of their economic well-being. The first was the bureaucracy in regulation and compliance, including tax administration. Second, the extreme informality of most enterprises, which effectively relegated them to the margins of empowerment, facilitation, or even recognition as lawful undertakings. Third, was the misconception around expanding the national tax base. Is it about people paying more or more people paying? The answer lies in empowering more Kenyans to enter the taxable income category through intentional effort to create millions of new jobs and millions of new taxpayers in due course. Fourth, a huge number of Kenyans, about 10 million, had either been blacklisted by the credit reference bureaus over inability to pay loans advanced by financial technology platforms or were struggling to pay. Other lenders required hefty securities and valuable assets as collateral, yet these struggling entrepreneurs required financing to acquire such assets. It was clear, therefore, that the prevailing financing and credit facilities were not supportive to the profitable existence of micro, small, and medium enterprises. Self-employment accounts for 51% of all jobs in our economy. 83% or 15.3 million jobs are in the informal sector, and only 3.6 million jobs are in the formal sector, representing a paltry 17%. Considering this employment landscape, it was imperative that we attend to the interests of these undeserved and underserved majority of workers urgently, resolutely, and effectively. This engagement with business community inspired the creation of the Financial Inclusion Fund, or the Hustler Fund, to eliminate the financial cost, delay, and bureaucracy entailed in complying. The facility employs the latest fintech powered by Kenyan telecommunications corporations. The Hustler Fund also re-engineered the idea of collateral by deploying the borrower's credit score as effective security. To enhance our national productivity, we are prioritizing the consolidation, processing, and value addition of our agricultural products. You just heard my dear sister, Governor of Embu, say, right here in Mashanga, we are going to build an aggregation and industrial park so that the people of Embu, and as we do it in Embu, we are doing it in every county in the Republic of Kenya. Last week, we advertised the first 14 agricultural aggregation and industrial park that will be built in every county so that we can consolidate our agricultural produce. We can provide for value addition. We can provide for agro-processing. We can enhance our manufacturing, create jobs, create value, and enhance the earnings of every farmer as we get rid of brokers, as we get rid of cartels, and ensure that we protect the hard-earned and the sweat of farmers in the Republic of Kenya. Our vision for affordable housing program is premised, firstly, on the objective of creating 1 million direct and indirect employment opportunities throughout every value chain in the housing development ecosystem. A single housing unit is capable of employing 3 to 5 workers directly and an additional 8 workers indirectly in the manufacturing of construction products, in transport, in logistics, and in all other sectors that contribute to the housing and construction industry. Secondly, the objective of affordable housing is to increase the number of homeowners and to transition more Kenyans from rent paying in informal settlements, in slums, and we have 1,411 slums in Kenya. We should transition those people, my countrymen and women, into homeowners. They should live in dignity like the rest of us because we owe them a duty of citizenship and a duty of comradeship as we live in one country. I want to ask every parent, I want to ask every Kenyan that rather than ask, how is it your business? We must know that it is our business because the 5 million young people are our children. They are our citizens. They pay taxes. And when we transition them into jobs, we are building a bigger pool of taxpayers. The conversation we have today in Kenya is different. I did promise the country 3 years ago that we are going to change the conversation. That the conversation is not going to be anymore about leaders. It is going to be about citizens. It is going to be about those who do not have jobs. It is going to be about our manufacturing. It is going to be about the millions who live in informal settlements. It is going to be about the people. It is our collective responsibility to think about the 5 million young people in Kenya who today walk our streets, walk our villages, in our townships, in our markets, and yet they do not have an opportunity to deploy their energy, their knowledge, their education in making a difference in their lives and making a difference in our nation. And I want to encourage all of us as the people of Kenya, as we look into this opportunity. I know many people are asking, how is it my business? How is it my responsibility? I have had many ask me, Mr. President, how is it my responsibility to think about those who do not have jobs? How is it my responsibility to think about the people who live in slums? 7 million Kenyans who live in slums, in indignity, without toilet, without running water, without roads. How is it my business? Let me ask the people of Kenya, if our freedom fighters, the people who made the ultimate sacrifice and lost their lives in liberating our nation, if they had asked the question that how is it their business, today we would continue to have been slaves of our masters if they ask themselves that question. It is our responsibility to ensure the people, 7 million of them, who live in our slums, including Shauri Yako here in Embu. I was here last week and I was informed about Shauri Yako. The people who live in Shauri Yako deserve a decent house, and it is our responsibility as we implement the housing plan, not just to create jobs, at least 1 million jobs every year. It is also our responsibility to grow our manufacturing, because housing will make sure that our entire manufacturing value chain, from the cement in our factories, to the steel in our factories, to the doors and windows and hinges in our Juakali sector and our construction products industry, to the sand harvesters, to all the people who will be working in our construction sites, to the accountants and engineers and all the architects and all the technicians and the electricians, to every sector, the millions of young people that will be employed in this sector, is sacrifice enough for us who are employed to make that contribution to the housing fund so that we can bring around the change that is going to take our country forward. Mimi nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba sisi wote tuliopata nafasi ya kuchaguliwa kutoka MCAs wetu, wabunge, magavana, maseneta, Mheshimiwa Deputy President na mimi hapa, pamoja na mawaziri wetu na wale wote ambao wamepata nafasi ya uongozi katika taifa letu la Kenya, mimi nataka niwahakikishie tutashikamana, tutafanya kazi pamoja ili tutimize malengo yetu ya kubadilisha uchumi wa Kenya na kuhakikisha kwamba kila Mkenya anapata nafasi ya kujiendeleza katika taifa letu la Kenya. Na wauliza viongozi wote, sote tuliopata nafasi kutokana na kura za wananchi hawa, tushikamane, tushirikiane, tufanye kazi pamoja ili tuweze kubadilisha Embu wakati tunabadilisha Kenya. Asanteni tena watu wa Embu kwa msaada wenu, kwa kura zenu na kwa maombi yenu. I want to say thank you very much to the great people of Embu County, as I thank all Kenyans who stepped forward to vote in the last election so that we, as the people of Kenya, can maintain our democratic credentials as a nation that is democratic, as a nation that is built on the firm foundation of multi-party democracy. And now it is our opportunity, all of us as leaders, in government and in the opposition, to work together towards making our nation great. The economy was the most important issue on which the last election was canvassed. The people of Kenya, in their multitudes, made their voices heard, their ideas clear, and their desires known. From Busia to Banisa, Lokichogio to Lamu, Magadi to Moyale, Mandera to Migori, and everywhere in between, the people said they wanted to transform our economic system, democratize opportunity, enhance inclusion, and reduce exploitation. Instead of the traditional campaigning of confrontation, incitement, and division, the last campaign became a sustained national debate on the most pertinent economic issues: the millions of our unemployed youth, access to affordable credit, inclusive financing, promoting the robust expression of the legendary Kenyan hustling spirit through MSMEs, and the facilitation of individual enterprise by enhancing market power through collective interventions like the Chama and SACCO. This is how Kenyan entrepreneurs desired to secure access to credit, do savings, access the market, social security, and health insurance. By paying attention to their aspirations, we established that Kenyan entrepreneurs desire to pursue success through enterprise, which makes positive measures to ensure that no one is left behind or no one is exploited. It is an enterprise culture which encourages the pursuit of individual aspirations through collective systems, which empower every person to succeed within the context of a thriving community. Our war against underdevelopment, poverty, unemployment, indignity, and vulnerability has been daunting. Yet, we have made steady progress year after year over 60 years of freedom. At the heart of our struggle for freedom, both before and after independence, is the distinctively Kenyan spirit of determination that is nevertheless flexible, consistency which is innovative, pragmatism that is also hopeful, and faith strong enough to take chances. The sacrifices required were inspired by a spirit that is truly unique, which transcends ordinary decision-making. We recognize that spirit even now. It lives in the heart of every Kenyan who wakes up early to give their best, try their luck, knock on doors, and chase their dreams. We see it every day when we see traders, artisans, farmers, and other workers braving the scorching sun and enduring cold rain in pursuit of livelihood. We also witness in teachers, nurses, police officers, extension officers, and technicians who go far from their comfort zone, often beyond the call of duty, to attend to Kenyans in their communities throughout all villages, all corners of our great republic. This noble ethic of willingness to struggle by working hard and embracing risk and of determination to achieve positive change in great leaps as well as in little installments has brought us far and will take us beyond the horizon of our destiny. We remain firmly committed to the Continental Free Trade Area and the effective implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Just this week, we concluded a working retreat for trade ministers of the Continental Free Trade Area with the private sector. I am glad to welcome to this gathering the delegation that has been holding Africa private sector discussions in Nairobi, led by my brother, the President of Comoros, His Excellency Azali Assoumani, and one of the most foremost champions of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. It is also gratifying to note that the champion, the former president of Niger, is right in our midst. It's also gratifying to note that 11 trade ministers are here today from different countries in our continent. On this day, 60 years ago, Kenya formally gained its right of internal government. Madaraka, the mandate of majority African self-determination, was a major step forward. The emergence of this nation as a republic later that year. That first Madaraka Day then was the golden dawn of our country's sovereignty, freedom from colonial oppression, autonomy from racist repression, and liberty from foreign suppression. In fighting for our sovereignty, our noble freedom fighters had primarily waged a political struggle to liberate a people divided, humiliated, and impoverished under a predatory system whose institutions were vicious and extractive. So, although the freedom struggle was political and the first Madaraka Day represented political autonomy, every Kenyan African understood it to mean and to be the beginning of the hard and noble work of securing and enhancing social and economic freedom as well. The eternal conundrum of Kenya's integrity agenda revolves around the question of who will watch over the trustees of public interest and who will watch over the watchman. These questions do not arise because we have low trust. Rather, they exist because we have high expectations. Given that these expectations are legitimate, in a technologically driven new millennium, we are increasingly resorting to technology as the answer to our transactional efficiency challenges. From the election results portal for our democracy to the Hustler Fund for MSMEs and the means testing instrument for higher education, as well as registration of farmers and distribution of fertilizer, digital technology is enabling the government to deliver services efficiently and to give citizens confidence that the system is fair and incorruptible. We must therefore take a moment today to celebrate technology in general, and in particular, Kenyan fintech and other innovations that are making it possible for us to serve Kenyans to the best possible standard. I remind all Kenyans who work in technology and everyone who uses technology that our forefathers fought with basic technology against a technologically superior superpower and won our freedom. We have a duty to deploy the best innovations and technologies to make Kenya efficient, competitive, and prosperous. I am persuaded that technology holds the key to improving efficiency, enabling inclusion, promoting transparency and integrity, deepening trust, and strengthening public confidence in government service provision. This is the reason why we are digitizing government information and taking public services online. On this day, I invite all Kenyans to embrace the new era of e-governance. which empowers people everywhere, including the majority at the bottom of the economic structure, to access government services at their convenience through their mobile devices. Since the advent of e-Citizen, government gradually increased the number of services available on the platform from 391. The rate of increase of onboarded services is now shifting to a new radical trajectory. Today, 3,770 services have been onboarded and fully operational. Another 3,000 are on course to being completed. We expect 5,000 services to be online by the end of this month. Our ambition is to offer every government service on e-Citizen platform by the end of this year. As we contemplate all the achievements we are celebrating today, let us reflect on the noble motivations and visions which inspired our heroic freedom fighters to make such immense sacrifices for the sake of freedom, not just for themselves, but also for the rest of their people who were not willing or able to join the struggle. Why did these heroes embrace such profound risk and danger in pursuit of a benefit that everyone else would enjoy? The answer must not only define our attitudes to public service, but it must also shape our understanding of the reasons and values that underlie collective undertakings and social policies. For our freedom fighters, a country in which anyone was unfree and oppressed was not worth living in. We have a duty to translate these truths into our political, social, and economic affairs. We owe each other certain duties as members of a community that we call a nation. Whenever we can do anything to make another person's life better, at no or little cost to ourselves, we have a solemn obligation to proceed and do it. There is a fundamental level at which we are morally obligated to think about our duties to the unemployed youth, vulnerable communities struggling in slums, and other people at risk of exclusion. Their struggle for dignity as human beings appeals to our duty of moral consideration. Their complicated pursuit of livelihood can potentially complicate our stable prospects. No human is an island. In community lies power, and to unlock that power, we must attend to our values and perform our obligations. That is why freedom fighters consider the inherent morality of their cause to be sufficient reward. For example, those of us who are earning Kenya shillings 200,000 monthly will pay only 2,500 to build a fund that will help create millions of jobs for millions of our young people and bring a meal on the tables of many hustlers. This is a worthwhile contribution to make for the greater good of our nation, as indeed the freedom fighters who came before us did. A healthy nation is liberated from human suffering and empowered to pursue their livelihoods and dreams without the hindrance and underperformance associated with ill health. A healthy nation is a happy nation. Freedom from disease is therefore a primary plank of our agenda to perfect self-government. We are committed to do affordably, inclusively, and in a manner that enables Kenyans to receive quality medical attention from the comfort of their homes. Towards this end, we are reforming the National Health Insurance Fund to meet the urgent needs of Kenyans at the bottom of the socio-economic structure by actualizing its purpose as a social medical insurance facility. Secondly, we have committed to deliver universal health coverage that enables every Kenyan attain dignified health care at the minimum cost of subscription fee. Thirdly, We have collaborated with county governments, whom we support wholeheartedly, and I want to commend all county governments for the exemplary work they are doing around health as a devolved function. We have collaborating with the county governments to recruit community health workers, promoters throughout the country. 100,000 of them will be recruited under this program, and this number will make every one promoter available for 100 households. This means that each promoter will be tasked with visiting Kenyans at their homes to determine whether any condition need to be managed through healthier lifestyle or basic medical attention. They will also be tasked with enabling patients with chronic conditions manage their medication, diet, and general well-being in a manner that makes hospitalization sometimes unnecessary. Finally, the promoters will facilitate early detection of conditions for referral to comprehensive attention in the spirit of effective healthcare management. Katika mpango wetu wa ujenzi wa manyumba, nilikuwa hapa Embu wiki iliyopita. Tumeanzisha ujenzi awamu ya kwanza, nyumba 100 kati 400 ambazo ni awamu ya kwanza. Nimesema nitarudi hapa Embu kama vile nitaenda sehemu zote za taifa letu la Kenya, ili tuweze kujenga nyumba 200,000 kila mwaka katika taifa letu la Kenya. Hizo nyumba 200,000 zitatupatia ajira ya vijana 1,000,000. Zitatuwezesha kampuni zetu za simiti, kampuni zetu za chuma, wale wanaotengeneza viti, wale wanaotengeneza milango, wale wanaotengeneza madirisha, wale mafundi, technicians, masons, carpenters, electricians, engineers, architects, quantity surveyors, wale wanaofanya kazi katika transport sector, madereva wetu, makanga wetu, wote watajumuika na tutakuwa na nafasi ya kupanga na kutengeneza ajira katika taifa letu la Kenya. Tuwaondoe vijana wetu ambao wako mitaani, wako masokoni, wako katika vijiji, wamemaliza shule, wamekamilisha college, wamemaliza university, lakini hawana ajira. Ni jukumu letu kama taifa kupanga ili vijana 500,000 wasiokuwa na ajira katika taifa letu la Kenya, na wanaongezeka 800,000 kila mwaka, tuwapangie ajira, wajisimamie na watusaidie kuendesha taifa letu, na pia wao wachangie katika kulipa ushuru, tuweze kujiondoa kama taifa kwa madeni na tujisimamie kama taifa letu la Kenya. Na wauliza Wakenya wote, jameni, bila ya kuulizwa maswali ya kwamba mbona ni jukumu langu vipi, tujue ya kwamba wale watoto ambao wanahangaika madukani, barabarani, vijijini, hawa vijana ni watoto wetu, hawa vijana ni Wakenya wenzetu. Tujiulize vile vile, wale Wakenya wanaishi katika vitongoji duni, zaidi ya Wakenya 7,000,000. Jameni, tuwaokoe pia, tena wao wanafaa kuwa na makao ya kutosha, makao ambayo inawapatia heshima, na ni jukumu letu sisi zote kama taifa moja, taifa la Kenya. Mimi nimefurahi kwamba leo katika Kenya mjadala sio ya kabila hii na kabila ile. Mjadala ni moja, ni vipi tutahakikisha ya kwamba watoto wetu wanapata ajira. Mjadala ni vipi kampuni zetu za manufacturing zitaendelea mbele. Ni vipi tutakuwa na mpango wa kila Mkenya kupata mkopo. Ni vipi tutasaidia wakulima wetu watuzalishie chakula, tuondoe aibu ya njaa. That is the conversation of our lifetime, and that is a positive conversation in the Republic of Kenya. In keeping with our commitment in this critical sector, we have registered 5 million farmers nationwide. these farmers immediately became eligible to receive subsidized fertilizer, and those who stepped forward received their full fertilizer requirement, unlike in past seasons when the allocations were rationed. As a result of these measures, Kenyan farmers have been able to plant an extra 200,000 acres this year by using an additional 2 million kilos of seed beyond what was planted last year. As we continue to make progress in our pursuit of the transformation of our economy from the bottom going up, we must remain vigilant that no one is left behind and no resources are lost to waste and corruption. Public servants must ensure that public resources must be utilized solely and exclusively for purposes that serve the interests of all our people. I have made a personal commitment to use all instruments and authority at my disposal to curb waste and eliminate theft. I will not permit greed, lawlessness, or impunity. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our collective duty, sisi wote kama Wakenya. Mimi nimekuja hapa Embu katika sherehe hii ya muhimu ya Madaraka ili tukubaliane kama wananchi vile wale waliotutangulia bila ya kujali watapata nini walipigania uhuru wetu, damu yao ikamwagika, wengine wakauawa, lakini hawakurudi nyuma, kwa sababu kama wangerudi nyuma leo tungekuwa watumwa wa wale walikuwa wametutawala. Na ndio tunajiuliza kama taifa, kama Wakenya, it is the moment for us to ask, what can I do for my nation? Not, what can my nation do for me? Both questions must be answered in the affirmative. Sote kama wananchi wa taifa la Kenya tumesema ya kwamba jambo la muhimu ambalo lilikuwa katika uchaguzi uliopita ilikuwa ni maneno ya uchumi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Ilikuwa ni maneno ya wananchi mamilioni vijana wetu ambao hawana ajira. Ilikuwa ni kati ya wale watu wengi hawana uwezo ya kupata mkopo kwa sababu hawana title deed, hawana logbook. Leo ni jukumu letu kuhakikisha hata na wao wako na uwezo, wako na njia ya kupata mkopo wajiendeleze maisha yao. Leo katika Embu hapa, wale walio katika vyama, wale walio katika sako, leo tunaanzisha Hustler Fund Stage 2 ambayo itatoa pesa kati ya shilingi 20,000 na shilingi 1,000,000 kwa vikundi ambazo zitajisajili ili tuweze kufikisha mambo ya kupata mkopo kwa wananchi wengi.